Hello everyone, my name is Roke here, and today I'd like to help you tidy up all the things you might have forgotten to do before Dragonflight joins the Lost Era. Some of these things you've probably already heard of, but there's been a few under-the-radar changes that you might have thought were out of grasp, but you still have some time to attain. So as always, sit back, grab a snack, and let's get into some last-minute things to do in Dragonflight. So I'm going to start from the top of the mountain and work my way down with this one. Starting off, I'd like to remind everyone that until the War Within officially launches on August 26th, Mythic Fyrakk is still dropping this beautiful Fire Owl at 100% chance for 2 people each time you kill him. With at least 520 gear and 20 decent raiders, you can easily walk in there and dismantle him. If this owl is still on your to-do list, I recommend getting in there sooner rather than later, because once the War Within drops, this pretty birdie drops all the way down to a 1% drop chance. Don't forget, obtaining this mount grants additional rewards for other classes as well. For hunters, you'll be able to tame this beautiful bird out in the wild now, and for druids, you get a flight form appearance reminiscent of the mount itself. If you're struggling to find a group, check out local communities like the Dungeon Dojo, or giveaways from bigger orgs like Liquid or Echo, as there's a ton of End of Expansions events going on in that scene. While on the subject of things that are surprisingly still active, Season 4 rewards are still available. While the end-of-season achievements like Mythic Plus title are no longer available, their lesser rewards continue to be achievable, like the Infinite Armoredon for Keystone Master and the Draconic title for Keystone Hero. When the War Within drops, raids will also no longer be awakened, meaning you won't be able to obtain the Voyaging Wilderling, Awakened Hero, or raid teleports from associated difficulties. All of the rewards will go away at once on August 26th with the launch of War Within, so if you're interested in getting them, make sure you hop in now. Moving along, Mist of Pandaria Remix ends on August 19th, meaning that all its associated rewards will go away as well, and we haven't even heard if this event will ever return. There's 146 achievements associated with this mode, along with unique rewards like 32 new mounts exclusive to the event, a unique Paragon of the Mist title for clearing Siege of Orgrimmar on Mythic mode in the event, and, albeit a contentious point amongst the community, you can even purchase all of the extremely rare mounts from the expansion at a vendor, and it only requires a little bit of grinding. Leveling a character in Remix only takes a few hours, and you can begin cashing out these rewards as you're leveling. So if there's anything you feel you may have missed out on, now is the time to jump into Mop Remix and cash in those rewards before it's too late. If you'd like a comprehensive guide on all things Mop Remix, I've attached a guide below that may be able to help you sift through all the chaos of the event. While not necessarily going away with the release of the War Within, something that may be marginally harder to obtain after the fact might be Taivan the Good Boy himself. This mount requires an extraordinary amount of effort, making you do pretty much every single form of content available in Dragonflight, but the reward is arguably one of the best mounts the game has to offer. Can he fly? Well, no. Can he swim? Technically. But is he the best boy? Yes, that is a fact. If you check your achievement progress for this in-game under the expansion features section, you'll probably be surprised to see that you have a decent amount of it done. For the remainder that you may be missing, it might be confusing to try to figure out where to go to get it all done, and to alleviate some of that pressure, I've also attached another guide for this below, that can walk you through section by section any achievements that you may be missing. This feels like an instruction that has been done through and through biannually over the last 20 years, but we must never forget to remind ourselves, when the dawn of a new expansion approaches, it is time to clean those bags. It's that time again to sift through your 32 slotters and figure out exactly which patch that random green item in your bag is from, and to throw away the horde of gear you've been holding onto for pretty much no reason. While I myself prefer a completely empty bag, I will say that if you're a hoarder true and don't want to part with some things, check if they're warbanned now after the pre-patch. Anything with a shiny new blue tag can be deposited directly into your war bank, which is accessible at any existing banker, and can be an easy way to alleviate bag space without sacrificing that oh-so-great blue item from Wrath of the Lich King. This one is going to be especially important, as if you watched the last video, we dove into the staggering amount of quests in the War Within, and that's going to be to clear out your quest log. If you have any in-progress raid skips or quest chains, I highly recommend either abandoning or completing them in the next 3 weeks, as the War Within is no stranger to piling up that quest log mighty quick, so you're going to need all the slots that you can get. A fancy tip I like to throw in here is if you have to drop a quest that you know you're going to want to come back to, make a notepad. Then, before you drop the quest, open up the TomTom add-on. If you don't have it, I highly recommend downloading it from CurseForge or your favorite add-on distributor. Then, head to the quest giver and make note of the coordinates. Write down those coordinates and the quests associated with them, and that way you have an easy reference for later down the line when you're ready to pick up your Lore Master adventure again. This is a big one, and it's been off to a pretty rough start so far, and that's going to be pre-patch. The Radiant Echoes event went live on July 30th to a pretty harsh reception, mostly due to the fact that you get a thrilling 5 minutes of gameplay for every hour and a half. I am happy to report, though, that as I was recording this segment, Blizzard announced that the event is going to begin cycling zones every hour, and that the event will automatically start up again once it's cleared, so this is now infinitely farmable. That point aside, though, there are some unique rewards you may want to chase before the event leaves on August 26th, notably being the Remembered Windrider or Griffin, depending on your faction, as well as 3 Remembered Battle Pets reminiscent of some vanilla WoW assets like Hogger, an Onyxia Whelpling, and a little Abomination. With the new changes to the event cycle, it has become much easier to target anything that you might want from the event, so hop in there and start the grind. This one is for all you rich goblins out there who are still probably sitting on your fat garrison mission table stacks, but make sure you sell anything you can before the price plummets. This may be a bit of a late warning as pre-patch saw the value of a lot of materials drop, but there is still some value to be had in these final weeks for things like enchanting materials and certain endgame files and feasts. Before selling your raw materials, I highly recommend downloading the add-on Craft Sim and seeing if there's anything you can do with those materials to perhaps walk away with a little more profit. While on the topic of profit, it is also something to note that the WoW token price is plummeting by the day. So if you are a bit low on WoW time, or just looking for a way to stockpile some easy Battle.net balance, there's no better time than now to pick up some tokens and lighten your load a little bit for the foreseeable future. This is a fairly minor one, but it is a concern I saw shared back when Dragonflight was coming around, and that's to reserve your names. The War Within introduces us to a new allied race in the Earthen, and while they aren't bringing much to the tables in terms of being revolutionary, there are undoubtedly some people who are going to jump at the opportunity to add another new race to their repertoire. Make sure you get your names reserved on throwaway characters as soon as possible, so you aren't stuck at the character selection boss in a few weeks when the expansion goes live. One thing to note, however, is to not immediately delete your name savers on launch, as there is a few quest lines you have to do at max level before you actually gain access to the Earthen themselves. Keep an eye out for a video on that as the time draws closer to launch, though. And that's all I can really think about. I know most of these are probably things that people have already reminded you about, or this is your 10th WoW expansion launch and you already have these things painfully memorized and prepared, but I hope that at least one of these caught you off guard and you're well on your way to 1 or 2 final glorious achievements as Dragonflight starts to enter the rearview mirror. This has been a great expansion overall, and while this may be my last Dragonflight video, all 2 of them that I made, I will fondly remember this expansion for setting the framework for everything that is going to come. In the near future, you can expect me to dive headfirst into the War Within content, and a bit of a pseudo-sequel to this video coming up next, as I walk you through how to best prepare your character for launch day in style, with some tips and tricks snatched right out of the alpha and beta cycles. For now though, that's it from me. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you later. See ya!